Hi, everybody. Welcome again to IV English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today we have a news article for you. The title of the news article is Bill Gates Funded Program Working to Build Smart Toilets.
中文标题是比尔盖兹资助计划，智能马桶化悲愤为力量。
Well, all the title can tell us is lead us into some ideas, but now we're going to take a look at sentences and paragraphs that give us specific information. Since humans began to live in permanent settlements, one major issue has troubled every civilization, dealing with human waste. Highly contagious and fatal diseases like cholera and typhoid can be spread due to poor management of human excrement. That's why it is important to have good sewage and waste management systems. Unfortunately, many places lack good sanitation systems. Thus, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation launched the Reinvent the Toilet Challenge in 2011 to solve this problem. Samsung is one company that completed a project for this challenge. After 3 years of development, the toilet created by the company can turn waste into ash without using any water. It dehydrates, dries, and then burns solid waste to kill harmful bacteria. While liquid waste is treated through a biological purification process. The energy-efficient toilet can be easily built in remote areas and positively impacts the local environment. Samsung plans to license patents for the project free of charge to developing countries interested in the technology. Another company working on the challenge is Janicki. The Seattle-based company has developed a waste processing machine called the Omniprocessor. Human waste collected by the machine is changed into different byproducts, ash, electricity, and clean water. The electricity produced by burning solid waste is used to power the machine, and the leftover ash can be turned into bricks. The wet waste can supply water to crops and plants and is safe enough to drink. Currently, the Omniprocessor is being set up in Dakar, Senegal, with plans to introduce the machine to other cities in need.
So, since humans began to live in permanent settlements, and probably even when we were in temporary settlements, one major issue has troubled every civilization, dealing with human waste. Human waste. Waste is stuff that you don't want anymore, stuff to throw out. And human waste is the sort of euphemism that we want to say when we want to be polite about poo, that stuff.
好，所以呢，这个 human waste 就是人类的排泄物的意思啊，这个是比较文雅的说法 ，human waste。好，我们看到这个地方他说，自从 humans began to 开始 live 居住 in 在什么样的状况之下居住呢？在哪里居住呢？在 permanent settlements， 就是 permanent 是永久性的 ，settlements 就是聚落或者住所。也就是说，自从人类开始在固定的地方定居之后，那么 one major issue 一个重大的问题，主要的问题 has troubled 就是困扰，有这么一个重大问题，它已经困扰了每一个 civilization， 每一个文明都受到这个问题的困扰。尤其是以前都受到这个问题的困扰。那什么问题呢？ Dealing with 也就是要处理 human waste 人类的排泄物啊，这是一个大问题。
Highly contagious and fatal diseases like cholera and typhoid can be spread due to poor management of human excrement. Well, the problem here, when you're dealing with human waste, why is it important to get rid of it or change it so that it's no longer dangerous? First of all, it has a lot of diseases that are contagious. They spread from one person to other people easily and often quickly, and fatal. they can kill not only the first person who has the disease, but all the others after him who get it. Two examples are given here, cholera and typhoid. They can be spread from person to person, house to house, even city to city, due to poor management of human excrement. By not dealing with, in a safe way, human shit, that's how these diseases can be spread, because everybody produces human waste.
好，那这里讲到 highly contagious， highly 就是高度这是副词，高度地 contagious 就是具有传染力的意思，所以具有高度传染力的，而且呢是 fatal 是致命的 diseases 疾病，所以传染力高而且致命的这种疾病呢，例如什么？后面告诉你 like 例如 cholera 就是霍乱，或者是 typhoid 就是伤寒，所以像伤寒啊、霍乱、typhoid 这些东西呢，可以被 spread 被传播、被扩散。Due to 就是 because of, as a result of， 因为 poor management 处理不当叫做 poor management of human excrement， excrement 就是粪便，就是排泄物。所以呢，这个如果人类的排泄物粪便处理不当的话，那么具有高度传染力而且致命的疾病，像霍乱、像伤寒等等，就可能就会传播开来。
And that's why it is important to have good sewage and waste management systems, because we have found out many times and in many cities in the past what bad sewage will do for you. What is sewage? Sewage is the combined flow of all this human waste running through and out your city. And a sewage system is something that takes care of it and keeps it sanitary for everyone, because cities without a good sewage system are just one giant hole of disease and bad things.
好，所以 that's why it is important to， 各位也可以把这个语块记起来哈。因此，什么事情很重要？所以就你前面讲了一件事情，讲出原因之后，后面你就可以说，就是因为这样子，所以我底下要讲的这件事情很重要，所以就 that's why it is important to 如何如何。好，那在这里呢，很重要的事情是什么呢？是要 have 要有 good 要有好的 sewage and waste management systems。好，那 sewage 就是污水，就是含有人类排泄物的这个污水，还有呢 waste 是排泄物，所以要有污水还有排泄物的 management systems 这样的处理系统。因为一个都市如果没有很好的污水排放系统的话，那这个很容易就会爆发传染病所以这是非常重要的。
Unfortunately, many places lack good sanitation systems. Unfortunately, it's too bad that, in fact, around the world, many places, countries that have not developed very far, they do not have good sanitation systems. So a lot of their population is unable to study or work very well, and there's a high percentage of people who simply get sick or die.
好，那很不幸地 unfortunately, many places 很多地方 lack 缺乏 good 良好的 sanitation systems 就是卫生系统sanitation 就是卫生。好，所以所谓的卫生系统就是公卫系统这卫生系统公共的卫生系统那很多地方是缺乏的。
Thus, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation launched the Reinvent the Toilet Challenge in 2011 to solve this problem. If you launch something, you start off the process. And they wanted to reinvent the toilet. So the toilet has already been invented, like we have toilets. But they want to reinvent it. They want to do it again and do it better this time, because our current toilet system uses a whole bunch of fresh water in a way that's not really useful to us. And it would be good to have a non-using up all our fresh water way to get rid of our waste.
好，所以因此呢，比尔还有梅琳达盖茨基金会，这个基金会呢 launched 就是发起，他们 initiate I-N-I-T-I-A-T-E 他们开始发起了一个 reinvent the toilet 就是重塑厕所的 challenge 大挑战，这是在2011年，那希望能够解决这个问题 to solve the problem。 那 reinvent 我们把它翻成重塑，那这个字其实就 to make over completely 的意思，已经发明过了，我们现在再重新发明一次，就是希望能够改善原来的问题所以它也可以说 to replace with an entirely new version 所以你把它换掉，用一个完全不同的版本，把原来旧的版本把它换掉。好 ，to invent again 的意思。
Let's look at our second paragraph now. Samsung is one company that completed a project for this challenge. Samsung, as we all know, is an electronics kingdom located in South Korea, one of the most important electronics companies in the world. They completed a project. They entered the challenge. They accepted the challenge and showed others how they would reinvent the toilet.
好，所以三星呢是一家公司 that completed a project 完成了一个计划或者完成了一个项目 for this challenge 为了这个挑战，就他们接受了这个挑战，而且完成了一个计划或者完成了一个项目。
So after 3 years of development, the toilet created by the company can turn waste into ash without using any water. Basically burns it up. Well, it dries it first. We'll find out in the next sentence. But they're turning A into B. They're turning waste into ash.
好，所以呢，在3年的研发或者开发之后 after 3 years of development, 那 the toilet created by the company, 他们这家公司所创造出来的马桶呢，可以 turn, 刚刚 Angela 讲的 turn A into B, 把 A 转成 B, 那他们可以把 waste 把这个人类的排泄物呢，把它转成灰烬 ash 转成灰，而且是 without using any water 不用任何的水啊，就可以把它转成灰烬。
This newly refurbished toilet, it dehydrates, dries, and then burns solid waste to kill harmful bacteria, while liquid waste is treated through a biological purification process. So as excrement from the toilet, when let's say they flush the toilet, what is in the toilet has excrement, the solid, and piss or pee, that would be the liquid. First, it dehydrates this. It takes the water out of it. Not just that, when you take the water out, it may still be wet. So the next step is to dry it so that it has no water at all. Then it can be burned, and they burn the solid waste, the shit, to kill harmful bacteria. Only by burning can you destroy something as small as bacteria. And the piss part, the liquid waste, is treated through a biological purification process.
Probably using enzymes, I'm guessing.
I don't know. But it's a good idea because everyone produces a lot of urine. We should introduce this word, urine. Urine. Urine is the doctor's term for pee or piss. If you can purify that there's a lot of water in urine. So if you take out what you don't want from it, you've got a nice supply of water.
The interesting thing about this toilet is it's different from regular toilets. Regular toilets have water present in it already. And if the poo falls into the water, then that's much harder for it to dry out and everything.
Yeah, good
so
point.
These kind of toilets, there's actually 2 compartments. The one in the back is for pooing and the one in the front is for peeing. And you pee in or poo into separate compartments underneath in the toilet bowl.
Huh.
And then that's how they keep the poo from getting too wet.
哦，
Wow.
好，所以呢，这个 Angela 讲说，这个他们这种系统呢，其实这个上厕所的时候，他们是干湿分离的，哈，就同样一个马桶里面呢，干的排泄物会在一边，然后另外一边是湿的排泄物，这样子他们在处理那个固态的排泄物的时候，就比较不会那么麻烦啊，他们就不需要说再把那个水分离出来。好，所以这个地方讲到 it 就是他们所发明的这种 toilet 会 dehydrates 就是脱水 to remove water from 啊，或者是 to cause to lose water 叫 dehydrates， 所以它会脱水，然后呢会 dries 会干燥，然后呢 burns 在燃烧 solid waste 就是固状的排泄物啊，大概就是指大号，那目的是要能够 kill 杀死 harmful 有害的 bacteria 细菌。另外一方面 liquid waste 就是液态的排泄物，就是指我们的 urine urine， 那 is treated 被处理 through 透过一个什么东西来处理呢？透过一个生物的 biological 的一个 purification 净化的 process 过程来处理。
So the energy efficient toilet can be easily built in remote areas. Now, it's very important that they mention that it's energy efficient because normally burning things and dehydrating things and everything else takes a lot of energy. So I'm curious about why it's energy efficient, but I hope it really is. And then this also will positively impact the local environment. If you impact something, you influence it strongly. And so it's very important to say positively before this because you can also negatively impact something.
好，所以呢，这个 energy efficient 这个很节能的这种厕所 toilet 可以 be easily built 很容易的就可以建造，然后呢 in remote areas 在偏远地区很容易就能够建造出来，好，不是那么麻烦，而且呢它会 positively impacts 就是正面的影响 positively 就是正面的 impacts 在这里是动词，就是影响的意思，它可以正面的影响 the local environment 当地的环境。
Samsung plans to license patents for the project free of charge to developing countries interested in the technology. So Samsung here is doing very good work. They expect that after developing countries request some help in this department, that Samsung will license patents. A patent is permission from a company to produce a certain product. License here, you probably know, but not as it's used here. Here it's used as a verb. To license a patent is to officially produce, to officially set out and then give to someone who is applying for the patent free of charge. These countries won't have to pay a lot of money for this super new technology.And that, of course, will help their local environments.
好，所以三星呢 plans to 他们计划要 license 在这里是动词授权的意思，他们会授权怎么样 patents 就是专利 for the project， 他们会把这个厕所的这种专利呢他们会授权，然后呢而且是 free of charge 免费，那注意 free of charge 中间有一个 of， 所以是免费的授权给谁呢 to 给 developing countries 就是发展中的国家，哪些发展中的国家呢 developing countries interested in the technology 对这个科技有兴趣的这些 developing countries， 所以呢这个 interested 前面省略了一个 that are 省略关系代名词还有 be 动词。
And so another company working on the challenge is Janicki.
那另外有家公司他们也是致力于迎接这个挑战的公司叫做杰尼克，它是个生物能源公司。
The Seattle-based company has developed a waste processing machine called the Omniprocessor. This company is based in Seattle. I think you all know Seattle. And Janicki has developed a waste processing machine. That's what we're talking about here, reinventing toilets so that we can use the products of human waste. And they call it the Omniprocessor. Now, I'm not sure why they're calling it this, but Omni tends to mean everything.
So maybe it processes all the waste.
That could well be. It's an interesting term, and if I heard it, I would want to hear more about it. So it's commercially useful.
I would like to know if it's omniscient, however, as a processor. That would maybe a little bit too much.
好，所以呢 the Seattle-based company 就是总部位于西雅图的这家公司呢 has developed 他们发展出一个 a waste processing machine 一个排泄物的处理机器waste 这里也是指排泄物 processing machine 就是处理的用来处理的机器 processing 就是处理，那这个机器称之为 the Omniprocessor Omni 这个字呢作为字首的话它是 all 的意思所以它可能就是表示说我们这个东西什么都能处理 the Omniprocessor。
So human waste collected by the machine is changed into different byproducts. So when you change something, you just change it, it's become different. But if you're changing it into something, you're specifying what it becomes. So in this case, it's being changed into different byproducts. A byproduct is something that happens because of a process. It may be the main point of the process, and it's usually used to mean some other product that also happens, which is not the main point of the product. So like in this case, the main point of this toilet is get rid of waste, but it has byproducts. It has other things that it produces that are also good, which includes ash, which is very useful for a number of processes.
Fertilizer.
Well, fertilizer being one of them. electricity, which everyone knows why it's useful, and clean water. So these things are all byproducts. They're not the main product of the process, but they are also produced.
好 byproduct 就是副产品。所以呢，他说这个句子他讲到说，这个人类的排泄物呢 human waste 他们怎么样 collected by the machine， 所以这个机器会收集人类的排泄物，那收集完之后，这个人类的排泄物 is changed into 被转变成为 different 不同的 byproducts 不同的副产品，然后冒号告诉你哪些不同的副产品呢，例如说 ash 灰烬，或者是 electricity 电力，还有呢 clean water 就是干净的水。
The electricity produced by burning solid waste is used to power the machine, and the leftover ash can be turned into bricks. So you can see there's almost a circle or a cycle. You put in waste, the machine processes it and makes use of it, especially the electricity, so that the machine can keep operating. And another byproduct, we mentioned ash, that can eventually be turned into bricks, which can be used, of course, as building materials.
好，所以呢 electricity 这个电力 produced 生产 by burning 透过什么生产呢？燃烧 burning solid waste， 所以透过燃烧固态的排泄物所产生的电力 is used to 被用来 power the machine， power 在这里是动词，就是为它提供电力啊。所以呢，这个他们燃烧固态排泄物所产生的电力就被用来为这个机器提供电力 to power the machine。 然后呢 the leftover 就是 remaining 剩下的 remaining 是 R-E-M-A-I-N-I-N-G 剩下的这些 ash 可以被 turned into bricks 可以被烧成砖块，那就可以拿来当作建材。
So the wet waste can supply water to crops and plants and is safe enough to drink, although I don't know if I would go out of my way to do that.
If you don't tell me, I'll try it.
Yeah.
好，所以呢，这个液态的排泄物呢，可以 supply 提供 water 提供水 to 给谁提供水呢？给 crops 农作物还有 plants 植物来提供水，而且呢 it's safe enough to drink 它够安全的可以喝。那这个句子其实我觉得它这个拿捏的正好，就是它够安全可以喝，但是要不要喝，愿不愿意喝，好不好喝，它都不谈，它只告诉你说你要喝的话，它是够安全的，不会让你生病。
Currently, the Omniprocessor is being set up in Dakar, Senegal, with plans to introduce the machine to other cities in need. The Omniprocessor is being set up. It's first being used in Dakar, Senegal, that's in Western Africa, with plans too, if it works there, then they plan to introduce the machine to other cities in need, of which there is no limit in Africa, the Arabic world, South Asia, parts of Latin America. This will be a wonderful, wonderful invention.
好 currently 是目前，那这个处理器呢 is being set up 就是正在被设置啊，在这个塞内加尔的达卡啊，正在那里被设置。然后呢，这个大概从那里开始先试试看。那 with plans to 那同时他们有这样的计划，要 introduce the machine to 要把这个机器引介给好 introduce the machine to 给谁呢？给 other cities in need 其他有需要的城市 in need 就是有需要的。
Okay, that is our long article, and now we have a few reading comprehension questions.
Number 1 is, how does the Samsung toilet help prevent infectious illnesses from spreading?
三星这款马桶如何帮助预防传染性疾病来传播 infectious 也是传染性的意思。
And the answer is B. Harmful viruses in solid waste are burned and destroyed.
答案是 B 它们会燃烧而且毁坏存在于固态排泄物当中的有害病毒。
Number 2, what can be inferred about Samsung's next step with its new toilet in the future?
关于三星推出新马桶之后，可以推知它在未来的下一步会是什么呢？
Again, the answer is B. Samsung will offer it to developing countries for free.
答案是 B. 三星将免费提供该马桶给发展中国家。
And number 3, which of the following is not a secondary result of the Omniprocessor?
下列何者并不是 Omniprocessor 的附属产物？
And the answer is B. Haha, just kidding. The answer is C. Liquid waste.
答案是 C， 液态排泄物，这不是它的 byproduct。
Okay, that's it for today's lesson. We three will be back next month, and we can play around in the month of March. Until then, bye-bye.